Hi friends, it's Brooke with Legacy. Welcome to my cozy corner. I love this corner. Like, comment, subscribe. It's so green. It's so luscious. It makes me feel very oxygenated. Anyway, today I want to take you through shame. I'm not going to shame you. No. I want to talk about shame and finance. I want to take you through the connection between shame and finance and why it can really hold you back in your financial well-being. So for those of us, and this is going to be a lot of people, we're going to start, for those of us who grew up in shame-based households, we're going to start by saying it's in the past. It's in the past. Let it go. It is no longer something that needs to be a part of your everyday. It is something you have to work through. It's something that even the most powerful of women or men sometimes have these remnants, these, you can achieve the highest levels within various organizations. You can be entrepreneurial, you can be a leader, yet you can carry around with you this shame, this beating yourself up because you were constantly told if a mistake was made or if you failed at something or you didn't do something exactly the way someone else within your home would have done it. You received feedback that made you feel quite badly, made you feel very bad about yourself and about your approach, and you internalized a lot of that. And that blocks your financial wellness. That blocks your wellness in general. So the thing that I want to talk about in the context of finance is when we are raised in those types of homes where making a mistake can be devastating to our self-esteem because our parents spoke very poorly to themselves about the mistakes that they were making. And then they translated that into their children when they made mistakes. If you have that in you, first and foremost, not continuing it is really important, which means you can't beat yourself up more for having that in you. Does that make sense? You can't double negative your way into a positive. You can't go deeper into the shame in order to get out of the shame. You have to notice and then give yourself tremendous grace and tremendous peace in how you're speaking to yourself. Speak to yourself the way you would have liked to have been spoken to. This does not make you weak. There's a lot of, I received this messaging often in finance in particular, because I think a lot of individuals who gravitate into this space come at it from an egoic point of view. I'm great, I'm wonderful, you can beat me up, you can be hypercritical of me, and I will, rise above that. Many of them grew up in very critical households, very controlled households. And so as a result of that background, there's this badge of honor of having made it through and then visiting that shame onto others as proof that the person is powerful and strong. And I buck that trend, as do many leaders who have become enlightened as we've matured. We realize that it's actually not motivating. It's not motivating to others to flog them or flog their self-worth. In fact, the people with the biggest egos are the ones you can flog the most. And that's just really manipulative and creates tremendous negativity in the environment that you're living in. So in order for you to heal, in order for you to get to a place where you can have financial calm and wellness in your life, letting go of the shame that you received and then your need to shame yourself or your need to shame others is really a very powerful thing that you can do for yourself. And how does this actually play out in finance, in your personal finance? So think of yourself as being two parts in finance. This is the way I like to think about it. There's a flow piece and a present piece. Your financial well-being is actually made up of two very important things: money flowing in and out of you, and then a moment in time, a present moment. What do you look like? And most people know this as your cash flow right? Your income and expenses and money moving in and out. That's your own personal statement of cash flows. And then the point in time is your balance sheet, or a lot of people will talk about their net worth, how much money I have in the bank and how many debts I have, right? So your personal financial well-being is defined as a flow state, money flowing in and out, as well as a moment in time. What do I look like at this moment? Those things are not in conflict. They live harmoniously with one another. You can have money flowing in and out, and then you can have a snapshot of this is what is sitting in my hands or in my bank right now. For folks who grew up in a very shaming environment, both of those things can cause them tremendous pain. So I don't have enough flow. There isn't enough flow. I need to beat myself up that I'm not making enough money. I'm spending too much money, blah, 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 right? Where that talk track that's incredibly negative shows up in your mind, you start beating yourself up over flow. Is it coming in fast enough? Is it going out too fast? Oh my gosh, I'm not getting it right. So if you're in a shame state, you're going to beat yourself up in the flow. You're also going to beat yourself up in the current state. Oh, look at my bank account. I don't have enough money in there. I took a snapshot. It looks terrible. I have too much debt right this moment, right? So you can continue the unwanted gift that you've received of shame in your own financial wellness. You can pull that forward and begin to beat yourself up that you're not good enough at it and you just can't get it right. And the thing I want to impress upon you is you cannot get where you want to go from that state of mind, from that shame-based, repetitive shame-based environment where you constantly beat yourself up, that you didn't do it right, and you're not creating enough income for yourself, or you're spending too much, or your bank account isn't big enough, right? If you beat up your flow state or you beat up your point in time state, personally, you're not going to get where you want to go. So, and this is really powerful. This is really, really, really powerful. I really want you to internalize this. We're all flawed beings. Your parents, the adults around you, you yourself, your children, we're all flawed beings. No one is perfect. And so everyone did as best as they could at that moment, and you're doing as best as you can at this exact moment. The more grace we are able to show ourselves and others, it is not weakness. There is nothing weak about you being strong enough to show yourself grace. It's the ultimate strength. Showing yourself grace, showing others grace, not shaming, not continuing the cycle, not using that as a tool against others when you're trying to influence them, because it's been done to you. And look at the state that you land in when you go to a shaming place. It's not a good state. It's a state of lack and disappointment with self, and feeling poorly about yourself and feeling like you don't have enough. That's shame. That's all sort of shame laying on you. Releasing that. And it can be as simple as catching it every time you hear yourself say, I don't have enough. How do you change that phrasing so that you can help your mind think better thoughts? This is so incredibly vital to your financial well-being that you're going to hear me talk about this over and over and over again. Some of the habits that we have developed, the things that we have learned, we are not angry at, frustrated by people who have given these things to us. We are understanding that we're all flawed beings, and we are working through each of those things so that we ourselves can get to a better place. But I'm telling you right now, you cannot have financial wellness, financial freedom, wealth. You can't have that bank account grow. You can't see that flow state of money coming in and out getting better, or that point in time getting better, until you stop shaming yourself, until you start talking to yourself well. It won't happen for you until you can get yourself into a better frame of mind. Have a wonderful day.